If you want to start making your own clothes and have them actually fit your body, then you need to know your body measurements. And in this video, I'm going to tell you which tools you need to take those measurements, how to take them the right way, and which measurements you actually need to take. And surprise is you actually don't need that many measurements to get started. Hi, my name's Abby and I help absolute beginners start making their own clothes. So if that sounds like you, then be sure to like and subscribe below so we can hang out together and get you into some clothes you absolutely love and that you made yourself. Now, when it comes to taking your body measurements, there's a couple of tools you need. First, you need a flexible tape measure. Now, you can use one of these that you see all the time, or you can get one that actually rolls up. I prefer having one that rolls up because I cannot stand the tangle and the mess of those long, loose ones. But they both work the same, so you can pick whichever one works best for you. Now, a flexible tape measure is only one of the 10 must-have sewing tools you need to sew absolutely anything. So if you would like my 10 must-have tools list, it's going to be linked down below as part of the freebie for this video. So once you have your flexible tape measure, the next thing we need is a full-length mirror so we can see our whole body all at one time. And you're also going to need a body measurements chart. Now, you can just grab a piece of paper and write these measurements down. It can be as easy as that. But if you would like a fancy looking measurements chart where you can write everything down, it looks like this. I have that also linked for you down below. Again, it's part of the freebie for this video. So if you'd like that, jump down there, grab it, and print it off before you start taking your measurement. And finally, if you have a friend who can come over and help you do this, it's gonna make this process a little bit easier, but don't worry, it can totally be done by yourself, and I'm gonna show you how to do it solo in this video. Now that we have our supplies together, we need to talk about prep. Okay, so when we want to take our body measurements, we need to keep a couple of things in mind. First, we need to make sure that we're standing up straight and tall. So we're not going to be slouching forward and humped over and things like that. But also we're not going to be like trying to throw our shoulders really far back and like being really strange either. The goal here is just to be natural, but straight up and down. Okay? Nice and good posture is the goal, I guess. Okay? So on top of the good posture, we want to make sure that we're not sucking in a whole lot and we're not also making really big beer bellies, okay? We want to just stand naturally or as naturally as we can. Remember, the goal of taking these measurements is to measure our body exactly how it is. So we don't want to be leaning or sucking in or doing any of these things because that changes the shape of our body. On the topic of measuring our body as it is, what are we going to wear when we're taking our body measurements? So what we want to be wearing is something that is skin tight, but not so tight that it's deforming or changing the shape of our body. Okay, so I have on a pair of leggings. This is pretty easy, but it's more the top that we need to worry about. Okay, so a sports bra isn't going to be a great idea because those are quite tight and they change the shape of our chest. So for women, when we are taking our body measurements, it's very important that you wear whatever bra support system you're going to be wearing when you wear the clothes that you're making. Okay, which means that you might need to write down a chest measurement with a really padded push-up bra if you're going to make something and wear a big padded push-up bra. And you might need to have a different measurement for your daily wear clothes wearing your daily wear bra. Okay, so we need to make sure that we are wearing we're wearing undergarments that are going to be the exact shape of our body when we're wearing the clothes that we are going to make. Okay, so for me, I am wearing my normal daily wear bra and I'm just wearing a thin cami that sits over that. So now that we are standing up, we have good posture, we're not sucking in or pooching out our stomach, we have clothes on that are not changing the shape of our body, then we are ready to start taking measurements. Now we're going to talk about the 2 rules we must always follow when we are taking body measurements. The first rule is that the tape measure, as it goes around our body, needs to always be parallel to the floor, okay? If you imagine a hula hoop floating above the ground, that idea, you want this flat circle all the way around your body, parallel to the floor, okay? That's the goal. So if you have a friend with you, they can check with you. If not, this is where the full length mirror is going to come into play. Now I have a mirror here to my right. Now I have a mirror here to my right where you'll see me looking in a lot during this video. All you need to do is hold the tape measure where you want it and then spin and look and check and make sure that tape measure is nice and level all the way around your body. That's rule number 1, that the tape measure stays parallel to the floor at all times, all the way around your body. Rule number 2 is that the tape measure needs to just gently hug your body, okay? Now, if the tape measure is too loose, it's going to fall and be very obvious that it's too loose. But if the tape measure is too tight, it's going to start denting your skin. And remember, the goal here is to measure your body exactly how it is. We don't want to deform or change anything because your body is beautiful exactly how it is. So make sure that we're pulling the tape measure snug to where it's sitting on our body, it's staying put, it's not falling because it's too loose. And then stop. Don't keep pulling until you start actually changing or denting your skin. Okay? So those are the 2 rules we need to follow when we take all of our measurements. So now that we have gotten our tools together, we're prepped, we're wearing the right stuff, and we know the rules, let's talk about the 3 measurements you need to get started making your own clothes. The first measurement is going to be the bust measurement. And in sewing, bust is just a fancy word that we use to refer to the largest part around your chest. So we're going to take our tape measure, we're going to wrap it around what we can see as the largest part of our chest. Again, the mirror is going to be great here. You can turn sideways and kind of see where's your largest point. And make sure your tape measure is level all the way around. Once you get the tape measure in position, then you're going to take this measurement and write it down. Again, you can get the measurement chart free right here below this video and write it there or write it on a piece of paper. Just don't lose your paper. Okay, now measurement number 2 is your waist. Now a lot of people get lost on this one. Where exactly is the waist? The easiest thing to do is take your hand, put it on your sides and feel for the bottom of your rib cage and the top of your hip bone, okay? And if this is like, once you kind of get in between those 2, lean to the side, both sides, and right in the middle, okay? The middle point between the bottom of your rib cage and the top of your hip bones is going to be your waist. For most people, this is right above your belly button, if that helps it's a little bit easier for you. Okay, so once you find your waist position, you're going to take the tape measure. You're going to take the tape measure, wrap it around, and the exact same thing. Make sure the tape measure is level. Make sure you're not pulling it so tight that you're denting your skin. And once you get that measured, also write that down on your measurements chart. And the third measurement that we need is our full hip measurement. Now, this is the measurement around the largest part of your booty. Now, we all have different body shapes, so your largest part might actually be your lower tummy, it might be your booty, and it might be your upper thighs, okay? We all carry our weight in slightly different places, so the best thing we can do here is pick where you think is the largest part, okay? You might not get it right exactly the first time, but do your best. Once you have it wrapped around you, try wiggling it up and down your body. Now, as I move up from here, the tape measure gets looser. So I know that I'm in a good position, I'm getting close. But when I try to go down, the tape measure gets tighter. So I'm not quite yet at the largest point. So I'm going to loosen the tape measure a little bit, move down. And what you're looking for is the point where the tape measure gets tight. And if you go up from there, it gets looser. And if you go down from there, it gets looser. Okay? That's going to tell you where the largest point of your body is. So play around with this, take your time. And once you find the largest point, you're going to take that measurement and also write it down on your measurements chart. Now, some things we want to talk about, or a really important thing to note here. It's really, really easy to get stressed about this, to think that, oh my gosh, my measurement has to be exactly right. And if it's not, my things isn't going to fit at all. And then what will I do? I really, truly want you to take a deep breath and know this. If you are new to sewing, it is going to be in your best interest to start with some projects that are not super form-fitting. They're a little bit loose or boxy, okay? This is going to make making your first couple of projects much easier, less stressful, and more likely to go well for you. And if you need help picking a beginner project, I have a lot on this channel. There's a playlist here, or you can ask me down in the comments and I can help you out. But when our projects are loose fit, we don't have to worry about our measurements being so perfect, okay? If your measurement is off by 1/2 inch up or down, or 1 centimeter up or down, it doesn't make a difference because the clothes are loose fit, okay? So remember that, keep it in mind. I promise you, if you do your best with this, take your time, the measurements are going to work for your first several projects, okay? So don't get too stressed with this. I know you can do it. Taking your body measurements is actually only one of the 5 steps you need to start making your own clothes. I have put together a step-by-step guide to take everybody from absolute beginner to actually wearing your first piece of DIY clothing. And this is one of the steps in there. If you would like all 5 steps, you can also grab those down below absolutely free. It's a great way to get started if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and lost, because I know there's a lot to learn. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please, please, please take those measurements, because if you're trying to make clothes that fit, you need to know what size your body is. So take your measurements. You've got this. And if you would like to watch any other how-to videos for beginners, check out my playlist here. Good luck and happy sewing.